Manga-Waido.
My name is Yukiya Sakashita. I'm a bellman for a major hotel chain. I've been dating Konomi for 2 years, who works at one of the affiliated hotels. We used to work at the same hotel, and we got to know each other through going out for drinks and listening to each other's complaints. However, Konomi has been acting strange lately. She's very slow in replying to my text messages, and she's been cancelling dates more often. I wish we could talk, but I've been very busy too, so I couldn't get the chance. I was busy because this hotel was going to be bought out. Therefore, people were coming and going due to transfers and reassignments and so on. But that's finally settled too. The workplace regained peace and quiet, so I decided to take the next step in my life. I decided to quit my job as a bellman and retire from fieldwork. I thanked the people at work, and on the same day I went out for dinner with Konomi for the first time in a while. On that day, I finally got in touch with Konomi.
It's been a while. Wait, what's up with that bouquet?
Oh, actually I haven't told you yet, but I resigned from my job, and someone at work gave it to me.
What? What do you mean you quit? Did you get fired?
No, I wasn't fired, but...
Oh, you don't have to put up a front, okay?
What's going on? There was no sign of her usual friendly demeanor.
Either way, it means you're out of a job, right?
Well, temporarily.
No more excuses.
Well, I apologize for resigning without being able to reach you, but there was a time limit. I had no choice. Besides, it was you who was unreachable, wasn't it? It's not like I'm going to text you about something like that.
Well, I don't care anymore. I'm leaving. I have no use for an unemployed man.
Konomi. She seemed to be more fed up than angry and walked away without paying any heed to my words. I think it might have been a bad idea to act on my own without talking to her. But I wanted to talk to her in person, rather than on text or over the phone. The reason being that I was thinking of proposing to Konomi as the conversation went on. Konomi, I'm sorry, let's meet again and talk. After that, I sent her a few more texts, but she never read them. She didn't answer my calls, and I wondered if it was all going to end like this. Just as I was thinking that, I suddenly received a call from Konomi. Hello? Konomi, I'm glad to hear from you. But why haven't you answered lately?
I've been thinking about our future.
I want to continue to be with you. I'm really sorry I didn't say anything, but if you listen to me, I'm sure you'd be happy too. Let's meet and talk about it properly. This is how we finally met, but Konomi fell silent and didn't say anything. I ran out of patience and I told her that I was thinking of getting married to her. But Konomi said,
Huh? What's an unemployed person talking about?
and she wouldn't listen to me. I basically got the next job, so next.
You say that, but it's not that big of a gig, is it?
Well, I don't know, maybe, but I'm doing my best.
I'm going to be the president's new wife soon.
What?
I got my hands on the son of our boss, so I'm done with you. Let's break up.
What, you mean the boss at your hotel?
That's right. He's nothing like you, who doesn't even have a job. I don't want to work anymore. I want to be a housewife.
You'll be the boss's new wife? That's strange.
What's strange? Anyway, he buys me everything. He's even going to buy me a car. You can't even do things like that because you quit your job. Honestly, I've been wondering how to break up with you for the past few months, but I'm glad I found the chance.
Witnessing that attitude from Konomi, something snapped inside of me. Okay, alright, I'll step down, so please be happy with that person. And so my cherished relationship with Konomi ended in the worst possible way. For a while I felt like there was a gaping hole in my heart, but I had a lot of work to do. As I kept myself busy, I had less and less time to think about Konomi. And about 6 months later...
Welcome! Oh, wait, what?
That's right, I was to stay at the hotel where Konomi works. I'm pretty sure the guy she's having an affair with works here too. Who is it? As I look around at the employees in the lobby, Konomi approaches me.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Why are you here?
I'm here today with my boss. We made a reservation as Sakashita Yukiya. Treat me well as a guest. As Konomi was about to say something back, A loud noise erupted. I look over and there's my boss. A vase fell and broke, and his feet and bag were soaking wet. The vase must have fallen over for some reason, and the water from the vase must have splashed onto his shoes. A staff member is asking other employees to clean up the mess. I told you be careful with these shoes because they're very important. Sorry, but I didn't do it on purpose. I'll wipe them down. What's with that attitude? Can you still call yourself a hotelier? My boss's voice echoes through the lobby, and I rush to stop him. I look at the nameplate on the chest of the employee in front of me. That's Matsumoto. Konomi's lover, no doubt. What are you gonna do now that you got them soaking wet? What do you mean? It's not like there's water inside, so give it a wipe, it should be fine. You think wiping it is going to be the solution? Are you being serious? What? I said I'm sorry. You're obstructing business by standing here complaining for so long. Hey, I don't want to bother the other customers, so why don't we go in the back somewhere and talk?
Sure. This way.
Just as I entered the room, Konomi told me. I heard you're Konomi's ex-boyfriend. I ignored the idle chatter and cut to the chase. So you'll reimburse him for the maintenance of the bag, right? It's a leather bag, so if it gets stained, it's quite troublesome. And I'd like you to clean my boss's suit too. Huh? Reimburse? I don't see the point in going that far. But there are a few scratches here. It's in such an inconspicuous place, just don't worry about it. Doesn't even look that expensive. It's not a question of price. Don't you have any sincerity? It's not a matter of whether or not to pay for the bag. This hotel is going nowhere if they have employees like this. Call the person in charge. I'm the one in charge. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay at our hotel. We don't need a cancellation fee, so please, leave. What has he learned from all these years of experience for him to be so rude to guests? He is the son of the president of this hotel. What should we do? Huh? What do you mean? We're talking about punishment. Do you think you'll get away with this? Huh? I don't get it. Why are you talking like that? It's because he's the man who will carry this hotel in the future. As he said that, he took off his hat, and just as Konomi gave off a puzzled look on her face.
No way. Are you the chairman?
What? What's going on? I can understand why they'd be surprised. I was telling people that he was my boss, but this man is my grandfather, and he is the chairman of Manwa Holdings, the company that bought this hotel group 6 months ago. And I'm supposed to follow in my grandfather's footsteps in the near future, in place of my late father. I have been studying hard until now at a hotel that has nothing to do with my parents, lest anyone say, this young man. Upon the completion of this acquisition, I was to leave my fieldwork and be trained in kingcraft near my grandfather's side. I told them both that the hotel's reputation was so bad that I had come to inspect it.
Wait a minute. Why are you doing that, Yukiya? What do you mean you're taking responsibility for this hotel?
This man is my grandfather. I will eventually take over.
You never told me that! If you had told me, I would've...
I've kept my mouth shut because many women change their attitudes when they find out I'm rich. I apologize for that, but I was about to confide in you in the first place. You're the one who was blinded by the money in front of you and didn't listen.
Well, that's...
Anyway, this hotel has too bad a reputation, and I know exactly why. This hotel, where Konomi and Matsumoto work, while having a good location and facilities, numerous reviews have stated that the attitude of the employees is the worst. Over the past few years, along with the increase in negative reviews, the hotel's performance continued to deteriorate. There have been numerous complaints to the head office, and each time we have asked for improvements, nothing changes. But I was convinced when I saw what was going on inside the hotel today. The people in charge treat their guests poorly. It's no wonder other employees are following suit. What should we do? You decide. That's why I brought you here. Understood. I turned to Matsumoto. I will have you resign from the company, as you're the one in charge. What? Don't decide on your own. I had nothing to do with this. Don't you know what in charge means? Even in the few minutes I watched today, it was pretty bad. I can tell by looking at the other employees that you must be like this on a regular basis. There would be no future for this hotel if I leave you here.
All of a sudden.
It's not all of a sudden. I'm sure the head office told you many times to improve, right? Matsumoto fell silent in frustration at this question. I'll let you know because it's the president's son and his girlfriend. It's not just you. I'm going to have the president take responsibility as well. Wait, I'm going to change my mind and do everything for my customers, so don't fire me. Customers? I think you mean customers. You're rotten to the core. I'll send you a formal notice as soon as possible. Be prepared. And so we left the room. They were making some noise, but there's no reason to listen to them anymore. A month later, Matsumoto was officially dismissed. A shareholders' meeting was subsequently held to decide whether Matsumoto's father, the president, would proceed. The obvious dereliction of duty, the insincere response to repeated complaints, lack of improvement, and the damage done to the hotel's name. The unanimous decision to dismiss him was based on the lack of any improvement in his performance. And so the Matsumoto family disappeared from the hotel group. Later, the wife of former President Matsumoto came to the head office to apologize. According to her story, Matsumoto was a son-in-law, and him and his son were vain and spent a lot of money, and he had a large amount of personal debt. She decided to divorce him after deciding that it was impossible for them to live together while he lost her job and had to repay a large amount of debts. Those two, who have now returned to their maiden names, have sold their house and are living in a run-down apartment. A few days later, I got a call out of the blue from Konomi.
I'm pregnant. I think it's our child considering the time.
What?
I've thought about it a lot, and you're the only one I can think of after all. I'm really sorry for everything. I swear I'll only look out for you from now on. Let's start over.
What are you talking about? I didn't even see you for a while before we broke up. How could he be my kid? Hope you get along with your boyfriend who buys you cars. I said that and hung up the phone. She's asking for too much. Konomi gave up and married Matsumoto soon after. She worked until the very last minute before giving birth and is leading a poor life while paying off debts. She contacted me often asking for a loan, but I politely declined. After that, she continued to contact me so persistently that I decided to block her calls. As for me, I was appointed director and general manager of a subsidiary of a group company's hotel division. I was hoping the former president's cronies would leave, but the subordinates under them were all excellent people. With their help, I'll work harder and harder so we can become the best hotel group in the world in terms of customer service. My name is Makoto Hiramoto, 29 years old. I've experienced numerous sports and martial arts since I was a child, under the influence of my strict father. With this experience, I've been working for a company that deals with sporting goods for 6 years now, and I've been married for more than 2 years now.
Makoto, help me!
You're so jumpy as usual. You don't have to hug on to me like that, do you?
My body reacts on its own. I can't help it.
Freaked out by a horror movie. She is my lovely wife, Amane. As you can see, we're still getting along like newlyweds. But recently, there's been a disturbing shadow over our peaceful married life. It was one night.
I'm home.
Hey, wait, what's the matter? You don't look well.
That's the thing. Sugiyama-san invited me out for dinner again today.
What? Again? Last month, a man named Sugiyama transferred to Amane's department. He's in his late 30s, and he's Amane's boss, and rumor has it that he likes petite and cute women. He often touches her, asks her questions about her personal life, and approaches Amane in any way he can. Sugiyama, however, is very serious in front of other employees. The degree of his approach to Amane is currently on a delicate line. It's hard to say whether it's inappropriate. I was also bothered by what I heard, but I could only worry about him for now. Anyway, if anything happens, well, before anything happens, be sure to call me.
Yeah, I will. But Makoto, you worry too much. I'll be fine.
Well, yeah, I know, but of course I'm worried about Amane too. But more than that, But Sugiyama continued to approach Amane after that. Amane politely refuses every time because he's her boss, but he still keeps asking around. I couldn't help but be concerned too. But even though it was my wife, I couldn't simply stick my neck out into the internal affairs of another company. The only thing I can do right now is working out. I've been working out in my spare time since a certain incident a while ago. If something happens to Amane, I have to be ready to protect her. But one day, as these days went by, the situation I feared finally happened. That day, my company was closed, but Amane had work. Apparently, the members of the department were going to visit their clients, but I was so worried that I couldn't even focus on working out. Then I received a message from Amane, who was supposed to be at work. What? You're in Manual Land? Apparently, the outing ended early, and everyone decided to visit the amusement park where the client was located. I've known for a while that their client had an amusement park, so it's no surprise that they were going to visit. But I couldn't help but notice one thing. Does that mean Sugiyama's there too?
Yeah, he's here.
He's with them after all. I have a bad feeling in my heart. Am I being too worried? But I'm curious. I just have to go. I ran out of the house and headed to the amusement park. Even though I came here, there was no way I could find Amane so easily in this huge park. So I had to wander around the park with a cloud of uncertainty in my mind. I wonder if I've overstepped my bounds. Should I go back after all? That's when I received a phone call from Amane. Oh, Amane. The reception was bad, and Amane's voice was choppy.
I got invited by everyone, but I'm scared of haunted
Hello? Amane. Haunted house? No way. I ran straight to find the haunted house. Here it is. I looked, and there were people in suits. They were wearing the same employee badges as Amane, and some of them were familiar to me, but I couldn't see Amane. Oh, Mikado. What are you doing here? Amane, where's Amane? What? She's still inside. I knew it. I can't believe they let her in the haunted house. What? Was it bad? Is she afraid of ghosts? Amane was scared of, well, before she went in, but don't worry, she's with Sugiyama. What? She's with Sugiyama? Yeah, we all went in together, but it's just the two of them. They haven't come out yet. Maybe Sugiyama is taking care of Amane. He's good at taking care of people after all. How long has it been? What? I said how long ago did those two go in? About 15 minutes ago. What's wrong? You look so worried. I mean, didn't someone ask us the same thing earlier? What? Who is that someone? She was some tall woman. She looked worried like you and asked me how long ago did they go in. It looked like she was looking for Sugiyama. That's when. Oh no, the ghost's life is in danger. What? I ran into the haunted house. I rushed to find Amane while checking if any ghosts had been knocked out. Luckily, all the ghosts are alive and well, and they're all trying to scare me. Thank God. So far, so good. And when I approached the exit, there, that's her. I finally found Amane. There was nothing unusual on the way, and I was relieved and tried to call out to her. But... Amano, are you alright? Let me get you up. Is that Sugiyama? Don't touch Amano.
What? Makoto?
I'm here to pick you up. Hurry up. Whoa.
Makoto?
Oh, sorry. I couldn't see because it was dark. Ow, he tripped me. Amano, it's okay now.
Hey, you...
What?
What do you think you're doing to my husband?
What husband? What are you talking about? I'll take care of you, sir. No, it's okay now. Wait, what?
Where are you aiming?
Oh, Amana, you have to calm down and listen to your boss, okay? Got you. What? Sugiyama tries to catch Amane, but Amane avoids him with ease. How can she see in such dim light? Wait, no way. Looking closely, Amane has her eyes closed. Amazing. Amane's bodywork, which keeps avoiding Sugiyama without using her eyesight, is so impressive that I couldn't help but admire it. But Sugiyama finally snapped, as if he thought he was being played. You're playing me. I won't let you get away this time. I finally got you.
What?
Although it was too fast to see clearly, Amane probably performed an arm entanglement throw, which is used in Aikido and Jiu-Jitsu. It is known as a self-defense technique, because even a petite woman can release the hold of a man weighing nearly 100 kilos once she gets the hang of it.
Ah!
As expected of Amane, tremendous technique.
My shoulder, my shoulder!
Come on, try and catch me again. I'll get you as many times as I can.
The last move was also effective.
Please, forgive me.
Then you better get along with these ghosts. Ghosts? What? Did I do it again?
Yeah, you did it again.
I'm sorry.
I pulled a dejected Sugiyama along with me and headed for the exit.
Makoto, are we outside? Are there no more ghosts?
Yeah, they're gone.
Oh, thank goodness. I can finally open my eyes.
So you closed your eyes because you were scared of the ghosts? I thought it was over, and as we went outside...
You're finally out.
Hibiki, what are you doing here?
I'm not here for nothing. I'm here to pick up my husband who didn't come back.
Don't tell me she's Sugiyama's wife.
What? Hibiki-sensei? Oh, Amine. Long time no see.
You know each other?
So, what's this all about?
Well, tall and scary. She's the complete opposite of Amane. So Sugiyama's preference for small and cute people is a result of his wife?
Isn't your shoulder dislocated? Here, let me see.
Ouch.
I knew it. There's no deltoid bulge and the acromion is protruding.
She seems to know a lot about this stuff.
I went easy on him, but I messed it up again.
Yeah, I'm hurt. Let's talk about this later.
So you can talk if I fix it now?
What? Ah!
See? It's fixed. Did you do this, Amine? Yes, I think. No wonder it was dislocated perfectly. You're Master Katsumi's daughter, after all.
What? Master's daughter?
Yeah, Amane is the daughter of legendary martial arts master Katsumi Shioyama. She's been trained in various martial arts by her father since she was a child. Karate mainly, as well as judo, aikido, kendo, longsword, jujitsu, and even throwing knives. She has mastered all of them completely. But perhaps as a reaction to that, after she came of age, she became more girly. At the flick of a switch, she would awaken the god of war inside her. By the way, her father, Katsumi-san, is a former police officer who is said to be the strongest man, and is still teaching martial arts to his subordinates, even after he retired from the police force.
I hear you've gotten married and settled down, but your skills haven't waned yet. You too, Sensei. The legendary God Hand is still alive and well.
God Hand? How do you know each other?
Yeah, this person.
Sugiyama's wife, Hibiki-san, is a legendary chiropractor who has healed numerous martial artists. She was called God Hand Hibiki because of her ability to recognize symptoms at a glance and heal them one after another.
I see you were married too, Sensei. Last year, my parents forced an arranged marriage for me, and I guess it was a mistake after all. I thought it was strange when I heard that this man who isn't very enthusiastic about his work was going to a client's amusement park, so I came to see him. I found someone from the company and asked them about it, and they said he was at a haunted house with a female employee. But I had no idea it was you, Amine, right?
What? Well...
You said so yourself, right, Sugiyama-san? That your type is petite and cute girls?
No.
Oh, you said that. Too bad I'm a big, strong woman.
Ah!
Too bad I wasn't just petite and cute.
I'm so sorry.
That's a lot scarier than a ghost. Later, Amane's co-workers hearing in the commotion joined in. As the only witness, I gave a detailed account of the events at the haunted house. Of course, when I reported Sugiyama's persistent invitations to Amane, both my colleagues and Hibiki-san were indeed shocked.
I'm divorcing you now.
We will report your attack on Amane-san to the higher-ups today.
Oh no.
After that, Amane left for a moment to see someone off at work. But then,
I can't believe I ended up marrying that guy. But it looks like Amane found a good husband.
what?
You work out, don't you? I can see it through your clothes. It doesn't seem like you're doing it for a sport. Let's see, for example, like to protect the ones you care about? Well, if you need anything, you and your wife should come to me. See you later.
Wait, did Hibiki-san go home?
Yeah. By the way, that person, she was cool.
What? Well, yeah, she's cool, but... did you fall for Hibiki-san?
Of course not. I'm in love with Amane, who's not only petite and cute.
Hey, I'm so embarrassed.
After that, the incident was reported to the company Amane works for, and the amusement park, which is their client, and they were not happy. At one point, there was talk of terminating the contract, but they decided to continue the deal by firing Sugiyama. However, a subsequent internal investigation revealed that he had also been messing around with women in other departments, so he would have been fired either way. Hibiki-san divorced him as well. On top of that, he offended Hibiki-san's parents when they found out what happened, and was eventually disowned by his own family as well. He's now living a lonely, miserable life alone. As for us, we're still living our lovey-dovey days. Since then, Amane has started training with horror movies, saying she wants to build up her tolerance for ghosts, but...
I'm not good with scary things after all.
you don't have to watch them if you don't want to.
I want to get over it at least a little bit. But, well, if something happens, Makoto is going to help me.
Yeah, of course. Next time, I'll save you without falling down. I will continue to protect the happy days with Amane, who's not only petite and cute.
My name is Tsubasa Kitamura. I'm 28 years old. I was struggling to find a job at a major general trading company, but reality was not so sweet. In the end, I got a job offer at Yoshi Industries, a small trading company specializing in plastic materials and parts. Although the company has a long history, it has a few employees and the president is elderly. Many of its customers are small and medium-sized companies in the town, which is very different from the trading company atmosphere I had envisioned. When I got the job offer, I thought about changing jobs right away, but...
Tsubasa, you did a great job this month. You are our ace.
No, it's thanks to Mr. Sayama's teachings. This person with an overly warm smile is my boss and department head, Mr. Sayama. I learned everything from work know-how to mindset from this man. Thanks to him, I became a young ace in the company. Tsubasa, congratulations on being ranked #1 in sales again this month. Oh, thanks. I mean, you're a close second too, Tetsuya. He's Tetsuya and No. 2 years my junior. We're now friendly rivals.
You two are as close as ever. You make me nostalgic.
You used to have colleagues and juniors, didn't you, Mr. Sayama?
Yeah, I did. Good friends like you two who can improve each other. We talked about our dreams and goals with each other.
Dreams.
Well, let's not talk about us old guys. Anyway, I have high expectations for you two young guys.
Yes, leave it to us. Yes, Mr. Sayama is right. We young people are the ones who will carry the future of our company. That's why I try to stay motivated, but... What? Our companies are merging.
I'm sorry, but the president of Nakajima Trading is a good and trustworthy man. I wish you all the best with your new colleagues.
Our company is going to be merged. Nakajima Trading, the other company, is a startup company that has been growing rapidly in recent years. The president and employees are still young, and it's said that they're all elites. In the midst of industry restructuring, President Yoshi, who is also an old man, chose to retire, gambling on the company's survival and rejuvenation. As a result, we became the vanishing company, and Nakajima Trading became the surviving company. And most of the upper management of Yoshi Industries retired or were reassigned. However, it seems that Mr. Sayama, the general manager, is still in charge of the company, and we young people were relieved. Then one day,
Oh, I look forward to working with you from now on. All of you from the Vanishing Company.
The employees of Nakajima Trading who came here were blatantly looking down on us. Among them, the one who was particularly bad was this man named Aoki. Aoki is 28 years old, the same age as me. And I hear he's also considered an ace among the younger generation. He is also a relative of President Nakajima, so he is trusted by the upper management.
Hey, what are you trying to do with all these contracts with such small companies?
There is no such thing as a small or large company. They're all important customers.
I didn't know there were still people who talk like that. That's why you guys are vanishing.
His way of thinking is the opposite of mine. He only gives priority to big companies. And he dismisses small and medium-sized companies which have always cherished, saying they don't make any money. I just couldn't like his way of doing things. And I was the only one Aoki was taking a bite out of.
Aoki, I'd like to talk to you about your sales techniques. What? I can't listen to an employee of a vanishing company.
Even to Mr. Sayama.
I know you've been smiling in your lukewarm environment so far, but if I get promoted, I'll fire you immediately. Until then, please be quiet and do your chores. Ah, I see. Here, could you make me a copy of these documents and make me a cup of coffee? Your kindness is your only merit, Mr. Manager.
Hey, come on! You can't say that to Mr. Sayama!
It's okay, Tsubasa.
But...
Aoki, I understand. I won't interfere with you at all from now on. Let's see how you do. Huh? You don't even want to argue with me? What a pity. Well, I don't mind. All right, please make some copies.
That guy, he's using the manager! I can't forgive him! Yeah, me too, Sayama. Should talk back a little too. Maybe he's being pressured from above? I heard Aoki is a family member of the president. You're right, that could be a possibility. Even after that, Aoki's arrogant attitude escalated, but Mr. Sayama remained as calm as ever. At this rate, the department might change to Aoki's liking. I was getting impatient. Then one day, us younger employees were ordered by upper management to propose a new business plan. We were to make a presentation in front of the president, executives, and other senior management. However, this was not just an internal presentation, but rather assessed the abilities of the young employees, especially those of the young employees of our vanishing company. Aoki also.
I'm going to show you the difference in ability between you and the vanishing group in this presentation. Well, you guys will have to do your best.
With that, Aoki left with his cronies. What are we gonna do? We'll go ahead with the project on our own. This is our chance. Chance? If we could get results and recognition for this presentation, we might be able to talk to upper management about Aoki's arrogant attitude. With this thought in mind, I inspired everyone and took on the role of leader to organize a plan. With this project, it became clear that it was an inflection point between Aoki and the other survivors, and me and the vanishing group. But Mr. Sayama is just smiling in the middle of it as usual. This time, so to speak, is a big battle for the survival of us, the old Yoshi Industries. If we don't do something, we'll be taken over. Or has Mr. Sayama given up already? I couldn't help but wonder. Then came the day of the presentation. In the front row of the conference room, all the upper management were present. Aoki was making small talk with these executives, as if he was acquainted with them. I'm feeling awfully away. It's all right. Let's go calmly as we prepared. I was more nervous than usual. But Mr. Sayama was just smiling and watching us as usual. He didn't seem to be dependable. Don't worry. We've been trying really hard too. The presentation began with Aoki and his team. The presentation was full of flashy colors, brilliant design, even animation, giving it an elitist feel. We can do this! Aoki's proposal was a bit unrealistic. The profit estimates were somewhat wishful thinking. And more than anything else, Aoki's plan was suitable for large companies and totally unsuitable for small and medium-sized companies, which we have been part of for many years. Aoki, nevertheless, proceeded with his presentation in a skillful manner and finished it with a face that seemed convinced that he had won. Certainly the presentation itself was good, but it could have been better. They're definitely going to point that part out. But, oh, it's wonderful!
If Aoki says so, it must be true.
What? Could this have been a fixed race from the beginning? I was gonna point out the flaws in the content, but under the circumstances, that would just sound like a sore loser. Mr. Sayama is still smiling and keeping his mouth shut. But I'm counting everyone's thoughts. I won't give up. I did my best to present as I prepared it. It wasn't a brilliantly designed document like Aoki's group, but I'm confident in the content. But the executives must have thought that Aoki's idea was definitive, and they didn't even give it a chance. And when the presentation was over, there was no applause.
That's kind of plain, isn't it?
It's not very impressive. How about you, President?
Huh? It looks like I'm going to win.
And at that moment, Mr. Sayama, who had been sitting silently until a moment ago, suddenly stood up and...
Do you people take work seriously?
Mr. Sayama?
What are you talking about all of a sudden?
I mean, do you seriously think Aoki's idea is superior?
I mean...
Because he's a relative of the president. Anyway, Aoki's idea is flawed.
What? What's flawed about my plan?
First, there's a general lack of realism. Secondly, the feelings of business partners are ignored. And...
Mr. Sayama was his usual calm face and proceeded to thoroughly point out the flaws in Aoki's proposal. Mr. Sayama did not miss any of the doubts I had, nor did he miss anything that no one else listening would have noticed.
On slide 8, the profit estimate, what is the basis for the gross margin projection?
Last year's...
Last year. You didn't take into account the impact of the merge. And since this is such a predictable question, don't you think you could have prepared an answer?
I'm too busy.
And you have time to make animations.
What about this guy's presentation?
Tsubasa, please tell us the basis of your estimate.
Yes! First I checked Nakajima's trading sales and gross profit for the past 3 years, and then I considered each other's business history and clientele. I was able to answer the questions perfectly because I knew they would be asked. Of course, all of this preparation was taught by Mr. Sayama.
And so, Kitamura's idea is very realistic. Also with this, we can expect to re-sign with ABC Corp, which we ended business with 4 years ago in May, and the profit margin on that.
After that, Mr. Sayama began to talk about the situation and issues of our business partners based on my proposal, without using any materials or calculators. The conference room was overwhelmed by his power.
The critical difference between the two, however, is the idea itself. Aoki's idea ignores the feelings of the other party. Prioritizing immediate profit will drive small and medium-sized companies away, and even large ones won't have a long relationship with you.
See, that's the Nakajima trading way. Don't talk big when you're from a vanishing company.
Says your employee. President. No. Nakajima, what do you think? Is your way of thinking changed as well?
Hey, how dare you talk to our boss? Apologize now.
No, you apologize!
What?
Mr. Sayama, my apologies for the rudeness of my people. You too, bow your head!
Wait a minute. Why should the president of Nakajima Trading apologize to a guy like this?
I didn't tell you, but he's my senior.
Uh-huh.
In other words, or rather Nakajima Trading, is what it is today because of this man. But what does that mean? I used to work for Yoshi Industries too. What?
That's right. I mentioned before that I used to have a colleague who could motivate each other, right? That's Nakajima.
What? Then President Nakajima told us something about his past that we didn't know. When he just graduated from college, President Nakajima, like me in the past, was job hunting for a job with a major trading company. But in the end, it was Yoshi Industries that gave him a job offer. At first, President Nakajima immediately set his sights on changing jobs. But his thoughts changed drastically when he met Mr. Sayama, who was 2 years his senior. According to President Nakajima, Mr. Sayama was always a capable and top salesperson since he was in his 20s. He had a calmer countenance than anyone else, did more work than anyone else, and was loved by his clients. Mr. Sayama was recognized by President Yoshi and became a general manager in his 30s. Meanwhile, President Nakajima left the company, aiming to become independent. which he had dreamed of doing for some time. He then established Nakajima Trading. The merger was also thought of between the two of them. In other words, Nakajima Trading may have different targets and business, but it has inherited President Yoshi's and Mr. Sayama's management philosophy and beliefs. I didn't know that. I wonder what he misunderstood. I thought working for Mr. Sayama would change things, so I kept my mouth shut. But it looks like that didn't work out at all.
It's not that I'm not good enough, it's just a matter of Mr. Sayama's guidance.
You know, for a long time now, Mr. Sayama has never given up on any human being. If you had listened to him carefully, you could have come up with a more brilliant proposal that wasn't superficial. Yes, just like Kitamura.
Thank you.
Aoki, you turned down Mr. Sayama's advice, didn't you?
That's...
As I thought, I'll take this opportunity to reevaluate what the other kind of person our company needs.
No.
And you too, board members!
Yes.
I don't know if it's because he's one of my own, but we're gonna have to start from scratch. We apologize! Thus, the presentation came to an end. While we were happy to be rewarded for our achievement, we surrounded Mr. Sayama and asked him questions. It was the idea of both President Yoshi and President Nakajima to leave Mr. Sayama as department head. And apparently, Mr. Sayama did not talk much about his past, simply because he was embarrassed. Man, tell me about it sooner! A few weeks later.
What? I'm fired. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the boss has been planning to do that for a while. I tried to stop him, but...
Aoki had apparently been doing reckless business for some time and had been receiving a lot of complaints. The president of the company has made a harsh judgment on Aoki's conduct, including the power harassment he had been subjecting his cronies to. Aoki was gone, and the peaceful workplace was restored.
All right, let's all continue to take it easy.
Ever since then, Mr. Sayami's smile sometimes looks scary. I know. I'm gonna keep working hard so that one day I can catch up with Mr. Sayama.
I'm Shoma Sasaki, 38 years old. I changed jobs a few years ago, and now I work in the systems department of Kameda Corporation. My main job is to maintain and operate the company's internal systems. I also do a lot of other things, such as security measures and developing new systems. I've been blessed with good colleagues and a good workplace. But there's one problem. You're telling me you need a new computer? Yes. Our current in-house computer is quite old, so there's a lot of software that's not supported. If it isn't broken, it's still working! No need to buy a new one! President Kameda is very stingy. Every department lamented, "Let us at least buy the equipment we need!" If he's this stingy, our company might actually be pretty messed up. I've had such concerns more than once or twice. At last, however, President Kameda was to retire. The new president is President Kameda's eldest son, Torao. We might finally be allowed to buy a decent new computer! I applied for the replacement of the company's computers with such hopes, but... I'm going to be tougher on you than my father. We're going to cut down on waste. Never buy anything unnecessary. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Do we really need you in our company in the first place? What? We can outsource engineers nowadays. What's the point of keeping you guys? I was stunned. Fortunately, the secretary said, if there's a problem with the internal system, we can't proceed without them, which saved the day. But it was still a shock. It's even worse now that they've replaced him. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen now. I don't think we have a bright future. Our hunch was about to come true. 3 months after the new president took office, damn, it just won't turn on! It's the end of its life. It's amazing how it lasted all this time. The computer monitor we've been using so much finally took its last breath. If it's completely broken, buying a new one would make sense. I went to talk to the accountant to buy a new monitor, but unfortunately, the president saw me talking to the accountant. What's with that catalog? You're not buying a computer, are you? The monitor is broken. If we don't buy one, it'll interfere with our work. You still have a working monitor, don't you? Use that in rotation. We need to work on it at the same time, so using it in rotation is... You guys are mechanical geeks, right? You could at least fix the monitor. We fix what we can fix, but if it's completely broken, we need to buy a new one! Are you guys really working in the first place? Aren't you just playing on the computer? What? You're playing solitaire or something, aren't you? What? He doesn't even know how much we're working! We're doing all this work! I said strongly, and as expected, even the president became silent. Well, if you insist. Just buy it. Thank you very much. However, the budget is 10,000 yen or less. I won't pay more than that. Understood? 10,000? That's impossible! Right? What are we supposed to do? At that moment, Nezu-san. Hi, this is Nezu-san. He's a salesman from an office supply retail company. Is something wrong? Well, actually, I was so discouraged that I unintentionally complained about the president. And then, if you're okay with a pre-owned model, we'll sell you one of our rental items. What? The budget is 10,000 yen. Your company is a long-time customer of ours, and I'm sure that the top management will approve. I'll talk to my superiors and get back to you by the end of the day. Are you sure? Thank you very much! That would be great! Nezu-san seemed to act immediately and sent me an email on the same day with a picture saying, "We can give you this monitor for 10,000 yen! After receiving immediate approval, I contacted Nezu-san, and to my surprise, he brought the monitor to us the next day. But a few days later... What? I heard you bought a monitor, so I came to check it out, but it's used. What a sucker the rental shop made out of you. The president of the company came to see and gave off a sarcastic remark. This guy has so much free time on his hands. I couldn't deal with him, so I pretended to be busy and ignored him. Say what you want. We did everything within your budget! After that, the president would come in from time to time with nothing to do. Are you sure you're doing your job seriously? You're not playing around, are you? He scoffed. Apparently, we were the ones who came to him with the big budget proposal as soon as he took over, so he'd been eyeing us. We all just sat on our screens and ignored him, and he gradually stopped coming. But 2 weeks later... Yes? Systems department? Hey! Get over here! Apparently, his computer got a virus or something, and now it was stuck on a strange screen. I immediately rushed over with my colleagues, but it was a nasty virus, and we couldn't get it back up. Do something! My work will be delayed! We're working on it! Please, wait a little longer! In the end, it took 2 hours to restore the computer. I couldn't do my job because you guys were too slow! I knew it! You're incompetent! It all started because you were looking at a dubious site. You're lucky to get it back and running. Alright, that's enough! I don't need any more of you incompetent nerds! I'm outsourcing system-related work! You're fired! Huh? No way! We did everything we could to fix it, but to be treated like this? We left the president's office with our shoulders slumped. When I returned to the systems department and told my colleagues what had happened, they all turned blue.
Outsourcing?
I wonder if we're really gonna get fired. The president seemed to be serious this time. As we were talking, there was a knock at the door. It was Nezu-san who came in. I was close by, so I came by. How are your monitors? Nezu-san! Yes! Thanks to you! Oh, trouble again? The computer's fine, but we might get fired. I guess we were looking too gloomy. Nezu said, "I'll listen if you would like." I see. The president is doing that. So what do you guys want to do? Frankly speaking, I can't do my job if he won't recognize our necessary expenses, and I don't want to stay here now that he's gone to that length. But the economy is in a slump, isn't it? I'm going to have a hard time finding a new job. So, you're thinking of quitting? What? Yeah, well, I've been thinking about quitting for a while, but... That's great! If that's the case. What? Are you serious? A few days later, we were working as usual when we received an internal call from the president again. When we rushed to the president's office as instructed, we found him alone and irritated in front of his brand new computer. I can't access the database! Do something! What? This computer? Did you buy a new one, Mr. President? You're the only one who got the newest one? It's none of your business what I, the boss, buy! Do something about it! It's impossible. The system we use is so old that it's not compatible with the latest operating systems. Huh? I don't get it. You're computer professionals, aren't you? Fix it, now! You can't fix what you can't fix. The system we're using now is too old. You can't use the new computers as is. When we switch computers in the company, we use an OS that's one generation older. Why are you using such an old system? You guys haven't renewed it because you slacked off! No, it's because you won't give us the budget, Mr. President. We have repeatedly told you that we need to update the system. Shut up! Just do something! We can't do everything ourselves. I explained that this wouldn't have happened if he had come up with a budget. Then the president said, "Enough! Useless people are fired!" What? The systems department is abolished! Don't you ever show yourselves in front of me again! Thank you very much for firing us. Okay, let's go to the new place. Let's tell everyone. What? Well, if you'll excuse us then, thank you for your help. Wait! We left the president and went back to the systems department. Everyone was so excited when we told them what happened. That's right. It all went according to plan. In fact, Nezu-san recommended us when we were at a loss. If so, could you come to our company? What? What do you mean by that? Well, to be precise, it's a subsidiary of ours. In fact, we just launched it the other day. We're looking for people to join our systems department, but we're having a hard time finding good people. Nezu-san said that the president of the new company would be one of Nezu-san's colleagues. He was consulting with him on various matters since they were close. The parent company's top priority was to get the company up and running as soon as possible, so they wanted to have the human resources supporting the foundation of the company in place. I know that you all have a great work ethic and teamwork. If it's okay with you all, I'd be happy to make a recommendation. What do you think? That's more than we ever hoped for, but is that okay with you? Nezu-san said, in front of our perplexed faces, I'm in no rush for an answer, so please, take your time and talk it over. And left that day with a smile on his face.
What are we going to do?
I mean, of course, it's obvious. And so, we decided to change companies. We were in the right place at the right time when the president said, "You're fired." After that, we all submitted our resignation letters that we had prepared. The president went pale, but I guess his ego wouldn't allow him to keep us. Enough! Get lost! Get out of here! And so, we successfully resigned from Kameda Trading. As I heard later, there was trouble with the systems of Kameda Trading a while later. The company was in turmoil. The president was in a panic and outsourced the system-related work, but it cost much more than when we were hired, and the response time was slower, so it seems that they're struggling every day. We all thought he got what he deserved, but 6 months after we changed jobs, President Kameda called us and said, "We're taking a huge loss because of your sudden resignation. We're filing a claim for damages." I'm fed up. He said he's claiming damages. I knew he was a stupid president, but I didn't expect him to go this far. We talked to our boss. He immediately spoke to the company's lawyer. When I was at Kameda Trading, I had recorded the president's outbursts, and the lawyer over there told President Kameda, "If you file a lawsuit, we will sue you for power harassment." As a result, Kameda seemed to have realized that filing a lawsuit would not be good for him. I won't sue, so don't sue me either. We got Kameda to write a memorandum, saying he would never get involved again, and we closed the case. After that, Kameda Trading's employees quit the company one after another because they were fed up with the president. The customer management system, which had been rushed to fix after a glitch was discovered, was apparently riddled with flaws, and customer information was leaked due to unauthorized access. The company's now on the verge of bankruptcy due to the outpouring of criticism from customers. It's that boss. He must have bought the labor for cheap and had it delivered in an unbelievably short period of time. It was an accident that was bound to happen. Since then, we've been happily working at this company, which we joined through Nezu-san's introduction. Hello, how are you guys doing? Thanks to you, we're being treated fairly. so we're only getting motivated, right? Yes, it's all thanks to you, Nezu-san. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. The president seems to be expecting a lot from all of you. In the future, I want to be a big man like Nezu-san who can help everyone around him. I'll start that with a job in front of me now.
My name is Kazuma Noda, 28 years old. I'm in charge of the kitchen at a nursing home. It's a busy job, but it's rewarding to hear directly from the elderly, and I thought it was my calling. To the kitchen where I was in charge, a part-time worker came in. Her name is Yukiko Sakuma. She just graduated from high school and is the daughter of the company president.
Nice to meet you.
Yukiko was a quiet girl who rarely spoke, but she was enthusiastic about her work and always listened to me intently, notes in hand. The seasoning and the ingredients are determined for each user. Be sure to check this chart.
Yes.
If you have any problems, call me right away. If I'm not around, you can ask one of the part-timers.
Yes.
Yukiko does what she's told and does her work meticulously. Her voice is always quiet, and she's not very talkative. When the part-timers try to make small talk, she wouldn't really engage. When the work was done, she would hurry off.
If you will excuse me.
Oh my.
She's even more reticent than I thought. It's hard to get close to her. One day, when I was thinking that, how's my daughter? Is she doing well? President! Yeah, she does exactly what she's told. That's good to know. Any sign of trouble? So far, so good. My daughter has always been very quiet. She never tells me when something is wrong, so I'm worried about her. I'll be checking in on her from time to time. Yeah. As he said, the president began to show up often. Whoa!
There's enough to worry about since she's the president's daughter, but he himself coming in so often is even more so.
It's like I'm being watched.
Well, I understand how the part-timers feel. I told the part-timers it's not a good idea to talk behind their backs, and kept an eye on them. But even after that, Yukiko...
Wanna go for a cup of tea? I'm tired. Excuse me. Oh.
She didn't try to blend in. Yukiko, can I have a word?
Yes?
You don't have to get along with the part-timers more than you have to. If you're too unfriendly, teamwork won't go so well. You should be a little more sociable when you decline an invitation.
I'm sorry, I'm not very good at talking to people.
I'm not blaming you. Anyway, just try to smile a little more. Sorry for asking you to do something weird.
No, it's my fault. I'm sorry.
I tried telling her that, but I myself haven't been able to get close to Yukiko at all. One day, when I was wondering what to do, an incident happened. Who put this without permission? The finished dish was accompanied by store-bought snacks.
It was Yukiko.
What? Yukiko, did you really put this here?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Tell me why.
Grandma Tanaka said it was her anniversary today, so...
Apparently, she was told by Tanaka-san, a user, that today was their wedding anniversary, and that these were the snacks that she used to eat with her late husband. She said she added it to the meal as a way of congratulating her. It's wonderful that you think of the users, but don't do anything without permission. Many of the users have weakened chewing ability. There's also an issue with allergies.
Yes, I am sorry.
If you want to do something like this, check with me beforehand. I know you're not good at talking, Yukiko, but you have to have the courage to say what needs to be said.
Yes, I understand. I'm really sorry.
Yukiko nodded and was about to cry. I rushed to intercede. It's okay if you understand, and thought I'd put the matter to rest. But the next day...
Hey, Noda?
Yeah? I turned around, and there they were. A scary-looking director and the president's secretary.
Follow me.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but the president has never called a cook like this before. Noda, you might want to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
I don't need your prying eyes. Just be quiet and follow me.
It must be about yesterday. It's over. Yukiko probably told the boss that I scolded her for the snacks. He's the president who cares about Yukiko. He must be angry that I gave Yukiko a stern talking to in front of everyone, saying it was too much. I stood in front of the president in the reception room to which I was led, turning very pale. Noda, my daughter told me about yesterday. Yeah, I'm very sorry for scolding Yukiko so severely. But the president... Hey, look up. What? I didn't call you here to scold you. I'm just really grateful that you noticed the snacks before you served them. Really? I told my daughter sternly not to do that again as well. She's always been like that. She's not a good talker. She doesn't always say important things either. The president said that Yukiko has been a taciturn since she was a child and made few friends. I even sent her abroad to study in the hope it would give her a chance, but that didn't work out so well. When she returned to Japan, her classmates made fun of her, saying she had not changed at all after studying abroad. She stopped going to school. Is that so? I hated school too because my parents were poor and my classmates made fun of me, so I can understand her a little. The president told me how he often brought Yukiko to the nursing home site as a refresher for her absence from school. I brought her here a few times too. I'm sure she talked with Tanaka-san then too. I see. That's why she knew about the wedding anniversary and the snacks. Yukiko seems to really enjoy talking with the elderly. I thought that the nursing care field might be a good fit for her, so I encouraged her to work here. The president ended by saying, I know it's a lot of work, but please keep taking care of my daughter. I see. Yukiko's enthusiasm for her work was her desire to please the elderly people she loves so much. After that, things were peaceful for a while. Yukiko hasn't done a single selfish thing since then either. Little by little, she started to join in the chit-chat, and even started to smile. I hope we can continue to get to know each other. When I was thinking like that, one day...
Who is it? The person in charge of serving at table B.
Is there a problem?
Suzuki-san's meal was served at Yamada-san's table.
I'm sorry. The chopped meal was mistakenly placed on the table of a mixer meal user. Fortunately, the nursing staff noticed and didn't become a problem. But we had an emergency meeting. Who served table B today? When I gather the entire staff and ask them, they all clam up. But...
Yukiko was serving the food. I saw it. Yukiko-san, you made a mistake before and got scolded by Noda-san, right? I think you're keeping quiet because you don't want to get scolded again, but it's better for you to come clean. Yamai-san, please calm down. Yukiko, is it true what Yamai-san just said?
Yukiko was pale and trembling. Was it actually Yukiko? The next moment, just as I thought that.
No, it was not me.
What?
I was serving at table D. If you think I'm lying, please check the security cameras.
Yukiko, you have quite the voice on you. Everyone seemed to feel the same way and we were all stunned. After that, we all checked the security cameras, and then, the one who served the food at table B was Yamai-san. Why did you blame Yukiko-san for your mistake?
Well, I'm sorry. It seems I was mistaken.
You really think that excuse will work? I'll report this to the director and the president. Please be prepared.
What? It was just a little mistake. There's no need to be so angry.
It's not about the mistake. It's about blaming others for the mistake. Can't you understand that? After that, from another part-timer. Actually, I was having trouble with Yamai-san forcing me to do her work. Yamai-san threatened me to take over her shift. With those voices combined with this incident, resulted in Yamai's dismissal.
What? There are plenty of part-time jobs out there. I'll be glad to quit this place.
Yamai left after uttering those words. According to the part-timer's story, she was unable to get a job anywhere after that, and her husband said to her, "Get to work, you're the one who made this debt, so you better pay it back, or else I'm divorcing you," and gets scolded every day. I'm not interested in other people's families, but it seems she was carrying a lot of problems from before. Well, I guess that's karma. The workplace has been peaceful since then, with no major problems. It was great that you were able to speak up and say that you were innocent.
Yes, it was because you told me before to say what needs to be said.
So you took action right away.
Eventually, I would like to get my cooking license and become a full-time employee like you, Noda-san. So, I thought I shouldn't be a helpless child who relies on others.
Nice, that's the spirit. I'll be rooting for you to get your cooking license. After that, I helped Yukiko with her studies and gave her advice, and we gradually became closer. After 2 years of working, Yukiko turned 20 and got her cooking license. When she invited me out to dinner to celebrate her passing, to my surprise, she confessed her feelings for me. I'm much older than you. I only graduated from high school, and I'm not that good looking, you know.
I fell in love with the kind and responsible Noda-san. Am I not good enough?
I was so flustered that day that I had to put my answer on hold. The president's face was on my mind. The president loves Yukiko so much that I was scared to imagine what he would be like if I were to go out with her. But after that, I took the time to face my feelings. I'm sorry I was so surprised the other day that I didn't respond right away. I kept telling myself that you were only my subordinate and that you were the president's daughter to push my feelings away. But once again, I like you too, Yukiko. Please go out with me.
Yes, I'm glad.
Thus, we started going out. After 2 years of dating, without any major fights, we got married. My father-in-law cried at the wedding and said, "Take care of my daughter," and patted me on the shoulder. Yukiko has become much more expressive and talkative than when I first met her, and now she talks more than I do.
Kazuma-san, I'd like to go to Manhwa Land sometime. Is that okay?
Sure, but I'm afraid of the jet coasters, so if you want to go, you're gonna have to go alone.
No, we're going all the way. Let's ride it together.
What? Give me a break.
Even you have your weak spots. I'm glad I get to see that.
Damn, then I'm gonna get on it over and over again so I can overcome it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yukiko, keep up the good work. Let's build a nice family.